All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here with all your cool wrestling factoids, all your ins and outs in terms of the professional wrestling industry, all the hot takes, all the sports news, and whatsoever. So, just kind of reflect on what we talked about. Our first segment, we talked about our WWE Friday Night SmackDown review. So now we're going to get into our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. But before I move on any further, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link that really helps the show. Leave a positive review here at the GSMC Sports Network. We love peace, love, and positivity all the way, 110%. And it really does help the show, guys. It really does. It really does make a difference. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. And, remember the link is at the GSMC podcast.net. So, let's move on to our next segment. We're going to move on to our WWE Monday Night Raw preview, which is happening right now. But Scout's honor. I have not watched a single shred of wrestling. Cannot wait to watch it. Give you guys some live reactions through my YouTube shorts. So make sure hit up the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast to look up those. So let's dig on into it. So we're live in Hershey's Giant Center Arena in not Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania, where you have the New Day against AOP. Lately, you've kind of had the AOP. You had Karrion Kross come to Kofi. You had Karrion Kross come to Xavier Woods. Kind of try to exploit maybe like a dark side of the New Day, because the New Day has always been like riding unicorns and shooting rainbows and throwing pancakes at everybody. But I think, I it would be interesting to see how they would promote this storyline, to kind of be like how it would. I don't know. I just don't feel like it would work with the New Day. You have Xavier Woods' attitude. You have Kofi Kingston's enthusiasm. I don't think they could ever be depicted as like a negative, kind of heel, or maybe like a negative baby face. Like under the Paul Levesque era, I feel like anything's possible. So I trust him. Can't wait to see what's going on Monday Night Raw tonight. Next, we see Sheamus and Ludvig Kaiser finally fight each other after weeks and weeks of build-up. Ludvig Kaiser, that disrespectful mother trucker. I'm just kidding. No. But and then we have Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior. Sheamus has been, ever since he came back from his his neck surgery, which isn't, which isn't easy to kind of come back from. So you got to respect Sheamus, and in terms of that. Next, we're going to see Damien Priest against Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, trying to represent the LWO. On Monday Night Raw, we have a full-on LWO against the Judgment Day. Damien Priest ultimately is probably going to beat Rey Mysterio, but I feel like Rey will leave his mark on Damien Priest. There's been a lot of speculation. I know in an interview they kind of had with Rey Mysterio. I think it was Inside the Ropes. I'm not too sure, but they kind of asked Rey Mysterio, like, would you be against going heel? And when Rey Mysterio was asked that, he kind of said, like, hey, honestly, whoever I trust ends up turning their back on me. I've tried so hard to promote these kind of people, helping Selena Vega, the LWO, everybody, kind of achieve theirs, that I haven't really focused on mine lately. And like, I don't think Rey Mysterio has ever really been heel in his career. I know he did a little stint with the Filthy Animals with Conan, and and Billy Kidman, and I think it was Juventud Guerrero. I'm not too sure, but I don't know. At this junction in his life, at his age especially, I don't think he could really pull a heel. And I feel like if he does, it'd kind of have to be like kind of like a Chad Gable, like Alpha Academy kind of heel turn, where he's like, you know what, I spent so much time representing you losers, like, you know what I mean? Like, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't think that would really ever happen with Rey Mysterio. So that's why, like, I'm calling it bluff. Calling it bluff. Sorry, calling bluff. And next, we're going to address Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan kissing Dirty Dom, his dirty mustache, his dirty Sanchez. I can't believe it. Liv Morgan kissed Dirty Dom. So this is so I have no idea, because Rhea Ripley's going to come back, and she's going to come back with a fiery vengeance. It looked like Dominik Mysterio did not want any part of it, but at the same time, you can't really, you can always like kind of push her off, man. It could be like, no, I don't want to kiss from you, Liv. Like, stop. Like, no, like, but there was none of that. There was none of that. I feel like it was more like a kind of like a shameful kiss. I feel like it was a way shameful kiss that Dirty Dom knew what he did, knew he cost Becky Lynch, her rematch clause. So now Becky Lynch has to start from the bottom, which she is a free agent, by the way. She's not employed by WWE anymore. So that makes me think of who the hell is going to challenge Liv Morgan. Rey is out. Becky, she's a free agent playing the market, trying to get, some dollar bills. Can't really hit her for that. Alexa Bliss still has health issues, according to reports. Charlotte Flair, possibly, maybe, highly doubt it. The only thing that kind of makes sense is probably Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria, although she did recently lose a match against Nia Jax for the Queen of the Ring in the finals, she's been muy impressive. Muy impressive. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe tonight we have like a battle royal on WWE Raw. Like it didn't really say anything, but I don't think that. I think the only person that kind of makes sense storyline wise is for Lyra Valkyria. She was kind of the protege of Becky Lynch, so it just makes more sense. All right, moving on. So we have Alpha Academy once again drama. Once again drama, building up a match for Chad Gable and poor Otis to fight at SummerSlam, probably in a no holds barred match where perhaps. Oh my god, like that would be so awesome if Jason. No, 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 no. I'm kind of lying here. Like everybody knew how badass Jason Jordan and Chad Gable were as Alpha, American Alpha. It'd be kind of interesting if he came back and like they have their own tag team and stuff like that still. But I according to reports and kind of to like what happened with Jason Jordan's career is that he can't. Sometimes you can be the biggest dude. Sometimes you could be like a guy with a six pack, shredded arms. I got biceps, bro. You're not going to make it as a WWE superstar. That's just facts. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes you need better technique. Sometimes you don't have the durability. Sometimes you don't have the stamina. And Jason Jordan was a pretty good, because he was a phenomenal athlete. And all of a sudden he's gone. He's gone. All of a sudden he's Kurt Angle's illegitimate son. Like I feel like if Jason Jordan were to come back, it would definitely be around this time where Chad Gable kind of needs an ally because at this time he does not have one. Does not have one. You possibly have what Ralph Rodriguez mentioned, turn Otis heel now. Possibly, but the fans just love him too much. What I kind of compare this to, and kind of like a Shawn Michael and like Diesel, where Shawn Michael was kind of like the arrogant jerk. I got my bodyguard. You can't touch this. I'm Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And then people loved Big Daddy Cool Diesel. As soon as he turned his back and stuck up for himself against Shawn Michaels, people loved Diesel, and that ultimately propelled him to bigger heights in terms of WWE. I love Otis. I do. The whole Money in the Bank thing was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Absolutely mistake as hell. But Otis turning heel, I can kind of see that, but I think Chad Gable's kind of too far off the spectrum right here. What I would kind of like to see, I would kind of like to see Chad Gable ultimately try to kind of, try to coddle Otis a little bit, be like, hey, man, you know what? It's okay. I'm sorry. I've been a little too rough on you guys in the past couple of weeks. I'm just upset that I did not win my Intercontinental Championship. And you guys know how important is that to me. I fought in front of my family. My daughter saw me lose to Sami Zayn. I'm sorry. I'm 110% sorry. And then the Alpha Academy, it's his hour, and everybody are like, I'm sorry, Maxine Dupree. She's but I feel like it would just have more of a build up. So have more of a build up for Chad Gable to perhaps become that total hero, that total son of a biscuit, kind of like a Kurt Angle. Kind of like nobody liked Kurt Angle, but guess what? They respected him. He was an amazing in-ring capable, competitor. Hall of Fame. He's probably won the most championships in college wrestling, Olympic wrestling, professional wrestling combined. He's probably one of the best wrestlers in the world, number one, hands down. That could be Chad Gable. So I would like to kind of see that happening. Like I said before, okay, now kind of moving on, we have Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman needs a storyline. He's kind of been chasing around the Judgment Day for too long. It caused Becky the match throwing. It was really dumb. The way Becky Lynch lost that match was really stupid, but kind of we're running out of time here. Next, we're gonna have our tag team championship. You have the Judgment Days going against R-Truth The Awesome Truth. Should be interesting to kind of find out. I feel like at this point, if you're trying to break up the Judgment Day, which I think WWE is kind of heading toward, it'd make no sense for Damian Priest and JD McDonough to win this match. So, but with the help of Carlito, perhaps maybe, there's other plans, or maybe Carlito, wants to team up with Finn Balor instead of JD. So maybe like he did with the LWO, he injured Dragon Lee for the WrestleMania match, hoping it was going to be him, but Andrade came back. But maybe Carlito's, he's just looking for some love. Just looking for some love, bro. We have Sami Zayn. That's why we can address the WWE universe, and Gunther. Gunther as well. Gunther has been recently kind of been depicted as kind of like a cheap King of the Ring kind of winner, because Randy Orton's shoulders was not down. It's been confirmed. It's been confirmed by WWE. Paul Levesque said in an interview that he understands what has happened, and in the future there will be a rematch. That's why you don't see Gunther wearing the crown. Or really kind of speaking on behalf of, you have Nia Jax. Her coronation was on Friday Night SmackDown. She's kind of, oh, the queen this, the queen demands your presence. But Gunther, I feel like he kind of saw through the WWE bullspit. And he was like, you know what? Like, that wasn't clean, guys. I feel like there was obviously a misunderstanding. If it was purposely done, I'm not sure. If it was, by accident, I feel like ultimately that kind of hurts the King of the Ring kind of prestige. But it's going to be interesting to kind of see how they do with that, because obviously you have Randy Orton that's on WWE SmackDown. It's not like something to be like, oh, on Monday Night Raw, we have Gunther rematching with Randy Orton. Like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. You have two brands kind of going at it. So, and this is for the number one contendership to fight on their respective brands at SummerSlam. And Gunther is going to fight Damian Priest. He's already been talking spit. But if Randy Orton wins to fight Cody Rhodes, I feel like a better match would be Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton. You find a way to kind of mix up the bloodline. Gunther is pissed, so he takes out his frustrations on somebody else. That's when you break up the blood. That's when you break up the Judgment Day. You have a Finn Balor versus Damian Priest main event. That's main event worthy. That's main event worthy for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. But hey, that's my opinion. Next, we're gonna see Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, his storyline and his booking has been absolute crap. I hate these squash matches. He's going out. He's attacking Ricochet. He's attacking the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov from the NXT. It just doesn't make sense. You need to make something make sense with Braun Breaker tonight. We have Natalya against Kiana James. I feel like Natalya is ultimately trying to build up momentum. Like I said before, last podcast on Friday, Jordan Grace has issued an open challenge for her TNA Knockouts Championship at against all odds. So I feel like the thing that makes sense is Natalya. Natalya on social media, on Twitter, has issued a challenge to Jordan Grace to open up that forbidden door. So if anybody's building momentum to fight Jordan Grace, I feel like it's Natalya. Dragon Lee's going to fight Finn Balor, like I said before, a full-on LWO against the Judgment Day. And Drew McIntyre is going to need to cut an amazing promo to set up Clash of the Castle. And yeah, so totally, running fast of time here. Always running fast of time. So we're going to jump into our men's wrestling power rankings. We're going to talk about men's wrestling all over the spectrum of wrestling. My top 10, obviously, top 10s whenever it comes to lists and stuff like that. There's a little bit of bias in there. But hey, tell me who you feel like that I'm wrong. Tell me who you think belongs in this list. We're going to start with the men in 3 after this commercial break. So hey, stay tuned.